Love.
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 Care.
Love.
Love.
Sex.
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 Damnation.
Dance.
Dhamaka.
Danger. Darkness. दिमाग खराब है.
Tishkow.
दारू.
Desperados.
Destruction.
This is the LSDcast, India's first podcast about love, sex, and dating.
Hi guys.
Hello.
Welcome back to our lovely show. This is Prem and that is Rogue on the other side.
That's right. And we're all about love. That's why we're lovely, but we're also about sex.
Dating. That's why we have LSD.
Yeah, and every other D word. I don't know if you guys have noticed this. You know the D, when we play our little love and dating primer thingy, the sting, you know the D changes every time, right? Like sometimes it's dhamaka, sometimes it's defamation, danger, dance. And you guys, if you are up for it, send us a D word. You can record it on SoundCloud or on WhatsApp or whatever and email it to us or tweet it to us or put it on Facebook at LSDcast. We'd love to have your D word on our sting. Anyway.
That sounds great.
Yeah, enough self-promotion. So
we shall decide who is the best D.
Donkey. All right. We are going to get on with the show. We've got some lip smacking stuff coming up for you. And
well put.
as well as some unwanted attention and how to deal with it. So tips. We are your intimacy coaches as well as your relationship agony aunts. And we're going to just lay it all out for you.
But first, we got to take a quick break and we will be back.
Hi, this is Michael Burns from Tall Tales Takeaway, India's first storytelling podcast where we feature true stories by people just like you. Find us anywhere where podcasts are found.
And we're back. That was a short and sweet little break where Rogue and I had a chance to really trash things out, chat, get to know each other at even another level. But now we're back because we have some work to do.
And we go very fast. We're really quick. We talk at double speed because we
extremely fast.
Know each other really well. It's almost like ESP. It's like we don't even have to use words. We just use these words for you guys.
There, she summed it up. Wait a second. She already knew I'm going to say that.
That's right.
The first question that we got in has to do with flirting, and flirting is great. It's good for health. Mm-hmm. It actually is. It gives you a lot of confidence, at least for men when they're flirting and it's actually working. They feel really good about themselves, and I'm sure
girls too. Yeah.
Exactly, and it's a very feel good thing because it's new, it's exciting, and trying to impress, but it's all done very subconsciously. But there's also a flip side to that, where flirting can be annoying or almost like an harassment. So what does one do with it in a situation like that? So I think Rogue has a question.
Yeah, from our listener. So let's call her Ritika. Ritika writes to say that there's somebody in her office who's flirting with her and it's making her really uncomfortable. What is she supposed to do?
Love.
And danger.
So, again, a lack of information. Somebody at work could be somebody junior to her, somebody at her level, or somebody who's her boss.
Yes.
Because I think that really matters. Like the power equation actually does play into this. So have you, all of us have had somebody flirt with us whom we're not interested in. And I think for girls, most of the time, you just sort of laugh it off, or you're just like slightly uncomfortable and you just, smile and shrug. And if they're like complimenting you, you just say sort of thank you and brush it aside. So it would be really helpful to know if this person has there's no better way to say it really, but power over her, because that would determine the strategy she uses to rebuff him, I think. If somebody's your boss and they're being inappropriate, like that is just off, right? And that's really uncomfortable. Right. Like how far can you run? How much can you shrug off before it really becomes harassment? But if somebody's your equal, then I would imagine that the tendency for most girls is actually just to sort of exactly do that, like stonewall them slightly. What would you do?
I really think there are just two ways to go about it. Of course, one is that you can avoid the person and just hope that that person gets it. And the problem with that is that you're always going to be walking on eggshells, and you're not going to be comfortable at any given point in time, because it's going to be at the back of your mind, because you're about to see him. You're going to think about what your next move is going to be in ways of avoiding that person. But I really think if she can address it, that would be the best way, because it really, so there's a polite way of doing it. You can go up to the person and say that, I'm so flattered that you feel this way. And I wouldn't say lucky, but, it's appreciated. I feel appreciated that you like me so much, but I'm just not interested that way. And, I would like it if we could just be cordial and friends, because, sometimes it does make me very uncomfortable.
Yeah.
And when you say it, you'll feel lighter. And let the other person know, and so that the other person is conscious of the fact that, he's actually doing a disservice by doing all this shit when it's actually upsetting you, as opposed to making you happy. So it's very important for that person to know about what's going on.
Yeah, set your boundaries. So I would add to that by saying that you could probably give him an out and be like, I don't know if you've realized that sometimes, in fact, I'm sure you haven't realized that sometimes your actions can make me a little uncomfortable, and I know you want to preserve our friendship and our relationship. So, as a friend, I'm asking you not to flirt with me like this. It makes me uncomfortable because of my colleagues, or I'm not interested. But essentially set your limits. But here's the problem. I think I'm definitely generalizing, but I think most Indian girls are not okay with that, because it's slightly confrontational. It takes a lot of courage to say that to somebody. It's easier to just back off or to hide or to even lie. But that I wouldn't advise, because I've been in that situation where you make up a boyfriend or something, and it just doesn't end well, because you have to add lie upon lie upon lie, because of course they're curious. They want to know about this fictitious person. Then you have to invent a birthday, an anniversary, a date, and then, I don't know, like a golmaal thing. You'll have to hire somebody to come and pretend he's your boyfriend. And then, this could be all kinds of crazy. So I don't recommend lying. I personally am fond of the direct approach, but I totally understand that it can be very difficult.
Rogue actually has a very, very interesting story. So if you guys stick around, you might get to hear it.
What do you mean if? They have to stick around. They always stick around. Our fans love us. Yeah, I'll tell you about that at the end. But if it's unwanted attention and it's flirting, maybe the best thing to do is really just find a nice way so that you don't mess up your working relationship, and address it.
Yeah, because clearly it's something that's really been on your mind. It's annoying you. Some people are okay with it. They like the attention, and they feel good deep down that, oh my God, that guy really likes me. I can make him do shit for me, like get me coffee, do this, clean my desk, give me a massage.
Where were these boys when I worked in offices?
But clearly, Ritika, you're not...
Massage?
Like a shoulder massage or a foot massage, depending on how much...
Did you see this film called The Intern with Robert De Niro and Anne Hathaway? He gets a massage at work.
No.
It's interesting.
Good for him.
Hey, look, I made a reference to a movie that's recent.
Wow. Look at Rogue
Score.
Go, movie from 2016? Gee.
It happens.
Someone has been really catching up.
Yeah.
And she had to watch the movie called The Intern that I haven't watched.
Well, you can catch up. Everybody, if you haven't seen it, watch it for the massage scene. Because it's about love, sex, and dating. Perfect.
So, coming back to Ritika's issue, Ritika, I think the best would be for you to address the issue, but be polite about it. And that is our advice to you.
That's right. And we'll be back after a tiny, tiny break.
Find the LSDcast online on Twitter and Facebook, and on iTunes and the Google Play Store.
And it's time for our sex question.
Ooh, sex question.
You know, the more you say sex, and we say sex a lot because we do the show, the easier it gets to say it. I remember being like 10 or 11 years old and having to say the word out loud, like for the first time. And it just, I think, came out sounding like sex or something really daft because it was just so alien. Like I'd read it 100 times and I knew so much about it because I was really precocious. But just saying the word just came out all wrong and it sounded so awkward and ugly and strange.
Yeah,
But
I think
hey,
we all go through that. But then you touch 14 and like, oh,
sex.
sex, yes, please.
All right, come on, hit us with the sex question.
Sex.
Okay, so we have someone who wrote in. Can we call her Nirmala?
Sure.
Let's call her. Okay, so Nirmala writes in, and she says that her boyfriend gives her really bad oral, and she doesn't know how to address it or tell him that, and she's asked us what she should do. Wow, Nirmala, that's pretty straightforward. Like her question was 2 lines. Excellent, great.
Yeah, we don't need details about whether he's your boss. Clearly, you are not the boss of him either, though, and you both have a little
Clearly.
work to do.
Clearly. So bad at oral.
Awful at
That's-
oral.
Yeah, awful at oral. Wow, that could be like a title for something. Awful at oral.
What would you want that a title for?
I don't know.
Absolutely nothing. You don't want to advertise things like this.
The movie that Nirmala stars in. I don't know.
Oh, come on. We're changing that for her. She's going to be awesome. He's going to be awesome at oral when we're done.
That's going to be the sequel. So, Nirmala looks like you're in a sticky situation. Okay. So,
We're going to sort this one out. Lickety split.
exactly. So, I would just suggest that the best solution is to talk to him.
This is always Prem's solution. Talk
Okay,
to
no,
him.
I don't mean talk
Use
to him
your
over
lips.
like having
Use your mouth.
no,
Use your tongue.
See, it goes well, right? But I don't mean talk to him while eating chai and samosa. I mean talk to him, when you're intimate with him. You kind of like direct him. You tell
Yeah.
him what you like and what you don't like. You don't just lie there and think about, oh my God,
Suffer.
this is
I
so
know.
bad. This is horrible. He doesn't know what he's doing. Like, poor guy, maybe, obviously, clearly he doesn't. So you need to
Yeah.
guide him. You can guide him
Yeah,
manually.
so-
You can guide him
Yeah,
manually.
you don't
can
have
hold
to
his
talk.
head. No. Hold his head. Turn him or, shift him in the area
Flip
that you
him.
want.
Yeah.
Or you can like whisper stuff so that, and you can like encourage him to go in the direction that you want him to go in. But please don't just lie there and endure something that you don't like. That's bullshit. Don't do that to yourself.
Yeah, that's really awful to both of you. So the poor guy, I think this is a very common thing is that if you've had partners before, which most of us, I think, listening to the show have, you sort of have this thing called retroactive inhibition where you transfer what you've learned from your previous partner, and everybody's different, right? So whatever pleased somebody's previous partner may not please their next partner, but they've done that, it worked, so they'll just keep doing that unless you tell them that it's not working for you. So guide them, definitely. And I don't think there's anything wrong with whispering sweet nothings afterwards and saying, what worked for you? And I really like it when you do this. And what do you like when I do oral? And what's your favorite part? And then exchange notes. And you don't have to criticize, but you can always state preferences and not be like, I don't like when you do that. Or you're like 4 inches off. Or do you even know where a clitoris is? Like, don't do that. And don't like shatter his ego completely. But you could always say, I prefer it. Or, when you did that thing with your tongue in that manner, I really like it. I went over the moon and I would love it if you did that more, like either when he's doing it or after. So you can always temper it. But yeah, absolutely. Ask for what you like, man. a woman. Don't. And guys too, really. It works both ways. It's your body, own it. And if you're giving pleasure, you should get pleasure. And hopefully you're doing both.
Absolutely. Yeah, it's a two-way street.
Yeah.
That's why you have 69.
You know what? I came across this link on Women's Health, which actually had like illustrated positions for oral sex, enhancing it for both men and women receiving or giving with whatever gender partner you're with. And there was some, I have to confess, that looked quite intriguing even to me. So you should check it out. Just do a search. I'm sure you could find it. Or you know what? We can find it and we'll put it up on like Facebook or we'll tweet it. So look out for that and we'll share that with you. But it was quite eye-opening. I thought, yeah, this is worth bookmarking. And you guys might think so too. And then you don't have to talk to him or her. You just send it to them and be like, wouldn't it be fun if we incorporated all these 12 things into the bedroom tonight, right? Then
Yeah, the new 12 commandments.
those were 10. I'm sorry.
Yeah, but now they're going to be 12.
Right. For the sequel. Awesome oral.
That's correct.
Yeah, so we solved that one pretty quick, man. We're good at this.
Yes, Nirmala. So,
Everybody should send us easy questions like this one.
yes. So, Nirmala, you know what you have to do.
Yeah, LSDcast@sonolog.com. And we have a handsy story for you after this break.
See you soon.
So you already know you have to like us. No, love us. Show us your love by also sending questions and comments. Do you disagree with something we said? We want to hear from you. Go on, don't be shy.
Hey. So, Rogue, did you enjoy that ESP or what?
Our ESP is
so
strong.
cool. Very strong. We exchanged at least 20 different stories.
Yeah, in that break.
So,
And we narrowed down on one.
we did. And this is the one. So, Rogue, we were talking about flirting and how uncomfortable it can get. So, you're gonna talk about an instance, but what exactly would one do in a situation when someone is coming on too strong and you just don't want that person, you just want that person to get it. Like, dude, I'm not interested in you. Just back the fuck off.
Yeah, but oftentimes like social stuff gets in the way. And as girls, we're generally trained to be really nice and polite and to think about what people say and not to make a scene and not raise our voices and not defend our boundaries. I think that's just a part of our culture. And you girls, you're listening, you tell me if I'm wrong, but I think we've been inculcated with this from a long time ago. So for me, what happened recently is that I was able to look at it and deal with it in a completely different way than when it happened to me when I was like in my late teens or my early 20s. So thank God for getting older and getting smarter and having some sense of self that I didn't have when I was younger. So let me tell you what happened. I was at this work thing and met this slightly older person, older than me, and he was really aggressive in his flirtation. So it started from the moment we met, where he took my hand to say hi and just held on to it for a little longer than he should have, like a few seconds, which is noticeable. Then I met him later and I was helping myself to coffee, and he put his hand on my shoulder and turned me around and was standing really close and was asking me questions and stuff, but his hand was still on my shoulder. And it made me uncomfortable. He wasn't somebody I felt attracted to, and I found his closeness intimidating and not like welcoming, Anyhow, over the course of these interactions over the next 3 days, he was just really handsy. Like he would continue to want to shake my hands, and I was just like ready to do namaste Indian style, but just somehow couldn't escape him. And I ended up feeling so like icky and then upset at myself for not being able to and we were always with people.
Yeah.
Well, we were always with people, and I couldn't shrug off his hand. I couldn't hit him. Like, what are you supposed to say when you're with 4 other people? Like, oh, could I have my hand back, please? Maybe, but then he'd already let go of it. Like, it was just a few seconds, idhar udhar, right? So not enough to slap him. Like, it was persistently making me really uncomfortable. And then he wanted my number, and I put him off, and I said I'd give him my business card the next day. And he whipped out his phone and was like, no, give me your number now. And I made an excuse and left. But it left me feeling kind of like, why am I in this position of like running away? What is this ridiculousness? I want to be here. I've got to also share my space with this guy. I can't perpetually be dodging him. So I talked to some people, some other women, and came up with something I was going to say. I was all set.
All right.
Yeah, I was going to talk to him. So what I decided to say to him was essentially a riff on what I advised.
Hey, Bidu.
Janta mera baap kaun hai? No, not that. No, I was going to take care of myself. I don't need a man to step in. So what I decided to say to him was, hey, listen, I don't think you realize this, but from where I come from and in my culture, like people don't usually touch each other. And I know you don't mean to do this on purpose, but I just have to say that it's making me uncomfortable and I'd really appreciate if you didn't do it. Right? Such a simple thing to say. It took me 4 nights to come up with the script.
And what was his reaction?
I never saw him again. I had rehearsed this thing. I was waiting. Like I was now like eagle-eyed. I was being him. I was looking out for him like he'd been looking out for me.
Oh, I know what must have happened. He must have got an ESP telepathically. He must have known.
Yep.
That this was coming up and he ran away.
Yeah. So I was going to be nice because there are always people around. I wasn't going to like be rude and say, back the fuck off, you fuck perverted sicko. But I didn't see him. So I didn't get to say that. But now I know exactly what to say the next time it happens because I am all set. I've rehearsed it and I am confident of what I need to say. And I'm going to do it.
But please start your opening sentence with, hey, Bidu. You must. For all the Mumbaikars there. Hey, Bidu. क्या समझता है अपने आप को हैं?
That's Amitabh. That's not just any Bombayite.
Yeah, true.
Yeah, I don't think I've ever done an Amitabh impression. I don't think I'm going to start now.
Hey, it's never too late. So, Rogue, I want you to give one of the famous dialogues when you encounter a situation like that.
Really?
You know the one I'm talking about. Say it.
रिश्ते में तो हम तुम्हारे बाप लगते हैं. नाम है शहनशाह. Is that what you mean? That is so random. Of course, I can't say it with these questions in my voice.
Are you actually going to say like that? क्या रिश्ते में हम तुम्हारे बाप लगते हैं? नाम है शहनशाह? No, please. Okay. I will disown you right now.
I was just checking with you. How would I say it? Tell me.
You say like, hey, Bidu. रिश्ते में तो हम तुम्हारे बाप लगते हैं. नाम है शहनशाह.
Oh, that's pretty good. I'll just record you and I'll play it for them, okay?
And play it.
Really? Then they'll never want to talk to me again anyway. They'll be like, this is a freaking weirdo, man. She's walking around with some boy's voice.
It's a ghost in her. She's possessed.
Yep.
मेरे अंदर की प्रेम बोल रही है.
हम हैं प्रेम रोग. All right, guys, we're getting slap happy here. So we're going to end it. Write to us, LSDcast.
Yeah, now we want to know what your D word is.
Yeah, we want to hear. So email us, lsdcast@sonologue.com.
Or you can get us on Facebook or Twitter and just write in all your comments, any questions that you want to know. Rogue just gave you our email. As we promised, we always keep your names anonymous and keep it discreet. And this is the platform where you can discuss or ask absolutely anything.
So this is Prem and Rogue bidding you
Khamosh, meaning goodbye.
Okay then, bye.
You've been listening to the LSDcast, where it's all about love, sex, and desi dating, with your hosts, Prem and Rogue.
A Sonologue production.